right, hello and thank you for tuning in. Now, as you can see on this screen, there is the question, is IT and software racist? Now, this might not have been exactly what you expected, but I need you to stick with me, especially if you are a young adult black male, right? Or a black boy, right? Or you somebody that's a grown brother that got some young brothers who need to listen and learn something. Now, I tried to have a live class not too long ago about this topic where I was going to go in more depth. So I'm just going to show you a little something right here. Now, when I hover over the top of this tab, you see it says, is the IT slash software industry racist against black men? And it's a question. And it's coming from the website solomon.loc. All right, so that's not a live website on the internet. You can't reach it, right? It's running on my local machine or my local server. So the same computer that I can use as a client to view YouTube or view any other website, I also have the ability to turn it into a server where it can serve up web pages. Now here it says, is IT slash software racist? So similar question, but it's not identical. So I made it slightly different for a reason. We're going to look at the source code. So I'm going to right click and go to view page source. I'm in Google Chrome now, so I'm going to zoom in. So as you see, there's a title tag here. What I mean by tag is basically in HTML, which all web pages have to have some HTML as their structure or sort of the skeleton of the page. You have tags, which is basically these words that are between the less than and greater than brackets, right? Less than, greater than, or you could just call them brackets. So the title tag simply means what you're going to see in the title of the page when you hover over that tab. So that's why when I hover over that tab, you see the exact question that I have highlighted there. It's just that simple. Then further down in the page, and I know it's a lot of other stuff on here. You don't have to worry about that right now. I'm just making a point. Got this H2 tag, which basically means a header. And you got at least 6 of them. You have H1 through H6. So I chose H2 here, and I put is IT and software racist. That's the text that's showing up right there. Let me zoom back out. So you see what I'm saying? Then you got this word refresh here, that when I hover over it, you zoom back in. When I hover over that, it's clickable. The reason it's clickable, let me zoom this in. Where did I write that? You see this word refresh here? And if my voice is going in and out just a little bit with the volume, it's because I have to kind of bag away from the microphone while I'm looking at stuff on this screen. But anyway, the word refresh is surrounded by an ahref tag. So A is way over here. I put some style stuff in between just to control the color and whether it has an underline on it or not. Then this href goes to http://solomon.loc. So of course, if this was a live website, it'd be youtube.com, twitter.com, whatever, right? But the point is this. When you enclose the word refresh in these A tags, right? And look, actually, I didn't do that exactly right, but HTML is forgiving because I should have a / right there. You see? Just like I got a / when I close that title tag. So I'm going to go in there and change that and close that tag out properly. So now I'm going to go to the source code editor, right? Give me just a moment here. All right, so now we're looking at my code editor. So I'm here at the word refresh. Let me see. I'll try to zoom this in some so you can see it a little easier. Right? I don't necessarily need it to be that big when I'm working on it, but I'm just trying to make it where you can see it because I know a lot of people, they use mobile phones, and so I'm gonna have to zoom out a little bit. That's too far. Okay. So all I'm gonna do is put that / there. Right? Now, I'm going to actually use this form now. and see how it works. So let's see. I'm gonna fill out this form. So I'm gonna put Joe Blow at example.com for password and just put some gibberish there. Job title, I'm gonna select software developer. And for the race or ethnicity, I'm gonna put black, then I'm gonna click submit. So now you see this information pops up here. So I'm gonna show you how that's working. Right, just a second here. Now, what I did, I'm using this language called PHP, which some people say is pretty simple. But if you're not a programmer, then none of this stuff is simple. Just as a side note, I hate when you have these super duper nerdy dudes who probably been programming and typing on the computer since they were like 7 or 8 years old or 10 years old, like Mark Zuckerberg. And not him directly, but I'm just saying, I'm talking to people who know little to nothing about software, all right? So I don't need you geeks, and I'm saying that to those who have this imposter syndrome, who think they better than everybody because they got a little skill or something, all right? I don't give a damn. If you know everything already, then great. Go help somebody, right? But for those who don't know anything but might be interested, that's who this is for. So let's continue. So right here between this H3 tag and this closing H3 tag, I made it H3 just so it'll be a little bit smaller than the text that's inside of H2. So those numbers, as the number gets bigger, the text actually gets smaller. So it's like font sizing, right? So I put here if. Now, I know you don't understand what this stuff means, but basically, I'm saying that if the server is receiving post information, right? So post is one method that you can use when you're submitting a form. So for example, if you go down here, you'll see I got this form tag. So I put the word form, then I put action equals index.php. So index.php is just the name of this page, right? The name of the actual file. When you're creating a website or application, you have to have an index page, whether it's PHP, HTML, or whatever other language it accepts. You have to have an index page. Then I chose method as post. All right. So post is just a way that this HTML form communicates with the web page or the web server. So when I click submit, then the information that's going through that form is going through by way of post. So no different than you traveling down Main Street in a city, right? You going down Main Street, that's how you get in there. Well, post is the street or the way that this data gets to the page. That's all it's doing. So I said, if the server's request method is post, meaning if this form is being submitted, then for each, which in English would be the same as saying for each and every one of the form elements or the form fields, right? I want you to do something. So this word echo, just like it sounds. If you go to the mountains and you yell out something and you say hello, then it's going to echo back hello, hello, hello. So you echoing, it just means display something on the screen. Display on the screen whatever you tell it to. So this UC words and string replace stuff, you don't have to worry about that now. But the point is key and value. So I'm going to show you where key is coming from. And again, it's just a little simple lesson, but this is why I want to have that live class so I can get some young brothers on here. And again, this is not to quote unquote hate anybody, all right? But the fact remains that the software development and IT industry is dominated by white males. And then you got maybe some Asians and Indians in there, at least in the United States as well. Whereas quote unquote black men make up a very small percentage, right? So that's why I'm targeting brothers in that category, all right? So this is not about hating or being racist against anyone. It just so happens it might do us some good if we can garner some more interest in certain topics, right? Amongst certain categories of people. All right, so now the first field is email, right? And so right here, I put input type equals email. Wherever it says input type equals something, that's the name of the key. That is the name of the key. And then the value, hold on. Never mind, let me tell you right. Name. Yeah, that was something else. I apologize. That's a different key. This is the one you need to see. So where it says name equals email, that is the key. Here where it says name equals password, that is also a key. Let's go to the next one. Name equals job title, that is a key. Notice it says job underscore title, right? Because that's how I named it. And then name equals race, right? That is the fourth and last key. And then for race, you got this drop down list. So instead of it saying input type equals something, it's saying select, because this is how you make a select drop down list, right? So the first value is software underscore developer, right? Database developer, janitor, and there are some errors here, right? But that's fine because we're gonna have to fix something. So let's see here. But up here, you got job titles. Now, when you look at job titles, software developer here is written pretty for the end user that's reading it. But over here, it's got an underscore between it because things, when you pass information to a database or to a form processor, you really don't need spaces in there like this. So that's why when I'm making the key, I put an underscore instead of a space. But now down here where it says race and ethnicity, it should be black over here, right? So let's change that. And then white, let's change that to white. Asian. And then prefer not. I'll leave that like it is. All right, so now that we saved that, let's go back to the actual form. Now let's refresh. You see it said job title software developer and race software developer. That's a problem. So let's refresh. Now let's fill this out again. Let's go Joe Blow at example.com. Just we're gonna put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Don't ever use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for a password. I doubt many people would, but just in case somebody's thinking it. All right, now we're gonna pick black. Now let's submit. So you see, the password is what I told you. The email is what you saw me type. The result is pending, meaning we're still deciding whether we're gonna hire you for this job or not. But race is now black. So we fixed that error. So now let's put a little logic. So to answer this basic question, software in and of itself is not racist. It depends on who's writing the code. In the same way, the software industry is not necessarily racist. It depends on who's doing the hiring. So if you have somebody who is white or Caucasian that does not really want a black man to earn any money unless he's doing hard labor or a low wage or a quote unquote sweaty job, then he's not gonna hire you for one of these jobs. So let's refresh this page, and then I'm gonna put some code in here to show you how something could be racist, right? But I'm also gonna show you the purpose of these if-else statements, right? So people are becoming more and more familiar with the phrase, or word I should say, algorithm. The word algorithm. Basically, an algorithm is just a usually long series of if-else statements or a decision or conditional statements that make a decision based on the information that's given to the program. That's pretty much it. So I can imagine on YouTube, they'll be like, if a video has at least 1,000 likes and at least 5,000 views, and the video is no more than 2 days old, then we're going to show it to this many people or suggest it, whatever, right? that would be a simple but nonetheless be an algorithm. That's why you got people always asking you to like their videos when they're doing the live stream, right? Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna put some racist conditions in here. Instead of making this thing just say pending for everybody while we're making a decision, we're gonna say, watch this here. Let's say if post, because everything that's coming through this form is coming as a post. All right, so you'll learn why I'm doing it like this, but just know that post has to be written this way. If post race equals black, right? We're gonna change the response. We're gonna change, yeah, tab over. Just a second, you will see exactly what this is gonna do. Now, hopefully nobody would be like this on a real job, right? But this is a good way for you to remember the purpose of an if-else statement or a simple algorithm. Let's see here. So yeah, if the person's race is black is what this is saying. Instead of pending, we're gonna say, sorry, that, hold on, yeah, that position is no longer available. All right, but now we got to give it another choice. So just like a human would think, else is our next choice. Else, you're going to tell them pending, meaning like you making a decision whether you're going to hire them. So if the person's race is black, I'm going to make this plain though. I'm going to make this plain. I'm not just going to do else. I'm going to do else if, so you can see exactly what's going on here. All right. Else if their race is white, we're just going to say hired, just so you can see these differences. See how these if-else statements work. And then we're going to say if it's Asian, we're going to make that pending. Hold on. Matter of fact, we're going to say you are hired. Exclamation point. Now, if their race is Asian, then we're going to put pending, right? And then last but not least, if they put like prefer not to answer or something, this will handle that. We'll just put else, right? We'll make that pending also. Now let's see how this affects the form in real time. And I think that'll be pretty much it for this example. So we're going to refresh the page. So now I'm going to put alex@smart.com. I'm just making that up. If that's somebody's real email, please don't send them any messages unless you already know them. All right, password. Just going to put some jibber jabber. Job title. They want to be a database developer. Race and ethnicity. Let's make them white. All right. So it's got their email and password. They want to be a database developer. They're white and they are hired. Now we're going to put the same information in there again, but we're going to change it to black. All right. And we're going to resubmit it and see if it changes like we told it to. Yep, I'm going to put the same password and everything. Now we're going to pick database developer again. Now let's pick black and submit. The only thing I changed was his race. And now the result is sorry, that position is no longer available. Now, hopefully no job would be this blatantly racist, although I know some basically underneath they are. They just would not tell you so abruptly, right? But you can at least understand that this code doesn't care who writes it. The code itself doesn't care the ethnicity of the person that's writing the code. It's just gonna do what you say. So you saw it did what I told it to do for black, right? Sorry, that position is no longer available. If they were white, it said you're hired. If I say Asian, I know they're gonna be pending, right? I guess I'll do that too, just so you can see it. Let me go and make them Asian. Dang it, hold on. Let me go ahead and make them Asian. Wait a minute. And I'm wanting to put the same information in here so you can see that the only thing I'm changing is the race. Now I can base it on other things too. Job title, database developer. This time let's make him Asian. Now it says pending, see? So they're not gonna outright lie to the agent and say the job is not there. They'll be like, maybe, you see? And this might be how it is in real life in the United States at some of these jobs. I'm gonna just be honest. But now I'm gonna put something else you might see in the real world, especially for you brothers. But if you learn this stuff yourself and get good enough at it, you won't have to ask them for a job, will you? I'm done trying to, I'm not on here for us to have a pity party. I'm just using this as a way to help you learn something about, just a little bit about programming that you may not know, and help it to stick in your memory. We don't give a damn if they don't want to hire us. We need to work for ourselves. That's how Malcolm X was talking. Anyway, don't get me started on that. We're going to add something else though. If post race equals black, watch this here. And that symbol there just means and post job title, watch this here, is not equal to janitor. See, because in real life they'll hire you, they just want you to have a not so pretty or cushy job. So I'm saying if the person is black and their job title is not janitor, say that position is no longer available, right? So I'm gonna show you how they would do it, how you would do this if you was only gonna hire the black man for the job that you want him to have, not the cushy job that he's qualified for, right? Oh yeah, I bet you there's some people that if they knew who I was, they'll hope they didn't discriminate against me, because I can put their ass on blast, right? So, but if it is equal to janitor, by the way, that double equals is how you say equals when you're doing these if statements. And up here, the exclamation point is how you say not. But anyway, we can get into that another time. Then let me add an else there for that to work right. The first one is if. The rest of them had to be else if when you got multiple conditions. And finally, you just close it. But anyway, so now what we're saying, hold on, let me change the text. And I'm going to put, you are hired. And then I'm going to say, we believe in diversity, because this is some of the BS they might do. They might say equity and inclusion. See, y'all gonna learn about this DEI stuff. Yeah, they believe in diversity, equity, and inclusion. They'll include you being the janitor even though you're qualified to be a database or a software developer, right? So what this basically says now, if the person's race is black and the job title they're asking about is not equal to janitor, say, sorry, that position is no longer available. But, or else, if their race is black and the job title they're asking about is janitor, then I want you to tell them, look, we're going to change the color from red to green. Give them the green light. Happy to give them that janitor job. And this is not to insult janitors, right? Because we need janitors. So we need the buildings to be clean. And what a lot of people don't know, if you operate your own cleaning company, you can actually earn quite a bit of money, right? So it's all about how you do something. But it's wrong to tell somebody the only thing they can do is be a janitor, even though they qualify for something else. That's what's wrong. All right, but if they ask them to be a janitor, give them the green color light and make the result say you are hired and we believe in diversity, equity, and inclusion. And after that, then that'll be the end of this video. And I'll ask you to, ask you to chime in the comments section. I hope this has been of some use to you. All right, we're gonna say Alex at Smart one more time. This time we're gonna make his password just plain numbers 1 through 9. Job title, we're gonna ask for a janitor and we're gonna say he's black. And there you go. Now that they think Alex at Smart is black and he wants to be a janitor, they give him the green light and they say you are hired. We believe in diversity, equity, and inclusion. Right? So I know this is just a make-believe example, but it can teach you a little bit about coding and how it works. And it can also teach you a little bit about life. But just remember, brothers, or whoever is watching this for that matter, but especially young black men, any black boy who may see this, or if you're a grown brother such as myself, the computer doesn't care who types what, right? So we got to do better, like myself included. Do better with IT, and you understand, or cyber security. I might be looking into that myself, right? Or software development, right? Or anything we can do to make it where we don't have to quote unquote bitch and complain and ask another man to give us a job. Let us create our own jobs. We can do it if we have some unity, but it's very difficult if you're a one-man operation to compete with these companies that have thousands of software developers, right, working for them. That's not being negative, that's just being realistic, right? It's highly unlikely, even if you're an excellent genius, that you're going to compete with YouTube all by yourself. You might give them a little run for their money, but come on now. So with that being said, I hope that this has been of some benefit to you. And again, it's not meant to offend anyone. This is meant to educate. So if you would like to attend a live class where we can go from zero to hero, go more in depth, and of course it would be a series of classes, but you got to start with the first one if you're going to get started. I want to help get some young brothers and young black men, or even some grown black men, interested in the software development, web application development. Let's see what we can learn together, see how we can grow. Let's see what we can build together. With that, have a good day.